The dust of Geonosis settled slowly, not in defeat, but in a haze of hard-won victory. Below the crimson sky, the newly formed Grand Army of the Republic stood triumphant, an awe-inspiring sea of white armor stretching across the scarred landscape. Gunships roared overhead, ferrying weary soldiers and Jedi Knights from the battlefield, while engineers began the grim work of salvage. It was a sight that, to many, represented the dawn of a new era for the Republic, a decisive pushback against the forces of separatism. Yet, as the camera pulls back, high above the victorious legions, the figure of Grand Master Yoda stands alone. His small frame, usually so animated, now seems burdened by an invisible weight. His gaze sweeps across the mechanical precision of the clone army, their identical faces, their unwavering discipline, and an expression of profound sorrow settles upon his ancient features. It is a moment of chilling, poignant clarity, a quiet tragedy unfolding amidst the cheers of triumph. For Yoda, this was no simple victory. He knew, with a certainty that pierced through the temporary elation, that what unfolded on Geonosis represented not a success, but a profound failure for the Jedi. For 1,000 generations, the Jedi Order had been the guardians of peace, keepers of the balance, their sabers instruments of defense, not conquest. Their role was to prevent war, to mediate, to protect the innocent, to use the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. But here they were, leading an army of clones specifically bred for conflict, an army ordered by a mysterious figure and discovered just in time to avert what seemed like certain defeat. The irony was devastating. Yoda, with his deep connection to the living Force, could feel the tremors of what lay ahead. While others saw the power and efficiency of the clones, he saw the seeds of destruction. This army, their very existence, forced the Jedi to become soldiers, generals in a war that would consume the galaxy. It fundamentally warped their very identity. How could they preach peace when they commanded battalions of trained killers? How could they remain lights in the darkness when they were being drawn deeper into the shadow of a galactic conflict? The line between upholding peace and waging war had blurred, perhaps irrevocably. His wizened eyes, usually gleaming with mischief or profound insight, now held the weight of centuries, heavy with the knowledge of what this meant. He understood the desperate necessity of the moment. Without this army, the Republic would have fallen. But necessity, he knew, often led down the darkest paths. The Jedi were now entangled in a web not of their own making, pulled into a conflict that felt too convenient, too perfectly orchestrated. The premonition of doom, a subtle whisper in the Force that had grown louder over the years, now screamed in his mind. It is in this heavy silence, amidst the receding sounds of a battle won, that Yoda utters those iconic, chilling words. Not with triumph, not with the fire of a victorious general, but with a weary sigh that seems to carry the sorrows of the entire galaxy. Begun, the Clone War has. It is a pronouncement not of beginning, but of end. The end of an era of peace, the end of the Jedi's untainted role, and the beginning of a dark and uncertain path that would eventually lead to their near extinction. His voice carries the profound sorrow of someone who sees the true cost of this victory, who understands that they have just stepped onto a precipice, staring into an abyss. This moment on Geonosis, often overshadowed by the spectacle of the first major battle, is in truth a crucial turning point. It highlights the tragic irony of the Jedi's fate, forced to embrace the very concept they sought to avoid, becoming soldiers to save a republic that would ultimately betray them. Yoda's sorrow wasn't for the lives lost in battle, but for the soul of the Jedi Order itself, knowing that their path had irrevocably changed and that the shadows were only just beginning to lengthen. It's a powerful reminder that not all victories are truly won, and some bring with them an even greater loss. What do you think of Yoda's reaction in this pivotal moment? Do you see it as a necessary evil or the beginning of the end for the Jedi Order? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to follow for more deep dives into the galaxy far, far away.